What's going on, everybody? I'm back again with another video on a hot Sunday afternoon. It's about 105 degrees, but that's roughly like 41 Celsius. But I thought I would come out here to Makati to see what's going on. I'm pretty sure a lot of streets are going to be empty, but what a better way to start my vlog right here in Ayala Triangle Parks. One of my favorite parks out here in Metro Manila. You know, and a good thing, I'm going to merge into some of the regular streets near South Central to see what's going on. You know, because a lot of people, they mostly focus like on Ayala Avenue and Makati Avenue, but I'm gonna merge into some of the regular streets to see what's happening. But so far it's looking lovely out here. There's people hanging out in the park. There's a couple of restaurants for lunch. I did eat at one of these cafes over here and it was actually pretty good. But like I say, so far it's looking lovely. It's another reason why I love living around the BGC area, because I could take a non-cars or a Grab and maybe 10-minute commute. I'm here in another business district, which I love. So, but we're gonna wander around. You know, I'm starting the video around Ayala Triangle Parks, and then we're gonna merge into some of the regular streets. So, without further ado, join me. And this, what I like is that they got a lot of restaurants here, and then they got this ceiling that they can literally connect you to the other side. You know, so you can cover from the shade, or if it's raining, which that happened to me one time, you don't gotta get wet, because you can literally walk for this, and then there's underpasses that makes you cross for other streets. And this park is literally giving me vibes like if I'm in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, by the Petronas Towers. Like in that area, they also have like a urban park that looks just the same like this, you know. Modern and futuristic, so it just proves that they have, you know, beautiful places out here in the Philippines. Something funny happened as I was walking there and blogging. One of the guards from a distance, you know, he told me that it's not allowed to film, but I don't know, you know, I'm not trying to complain, you know, I always respect the rules and everything, but I think it's a little bit of a BS, you know, because I look online and they say this is technically a public space, and I look online to see if it was allowed to record in Ayala Triangle Park, which I filmed many times. Many bloggers, they film out here and they say, yes, I can record as long as it's not commercial or huge professional equipment. But this is just for my personal use, just to blog and promote the park, how beautiful it is. So, I don't know, I'm just letting you know, they saw me from a distance and told me that it's not allowed. So, just thought I would bring that up to you, and somebody who lives around here knows about this. I don't know, bring it a little bit for attention, but you guys know I film here many times. You know, look, I mean, see, easy access, there's no easy access, there's nothing blocking. You can literally just walk around here straight. Beautiful park, so I don't know. I think these are some of the downsides of the Philippines that, you know, like, sometimes you just can't stay quiet about it. But carry on, I'm gonna continue blogging Makati, which I love. You know, it's Sunday, it's a beautiful day, even though it's a little bit hot, but the trees over here really helps me out, so gonna make the most off of this vlog over here. I'm gonna get some shots, because I literally just look up the rules, you know, and it says that I can, as long as I'm not invading people's privacy, which I'm not. So I'm just gonna get a little shot of this park, which is beautiful. Here you see the mixture of tall buildings, everything, and then I love the streets. Ayala has combined with all the trees out here. And then this takes you to the playground, which obviously I'm not gonna film, I respect the kids, but there's a bookstore right ahead of me. So I'm just getting some more shots, you know. But I really love this park, how gorgeous it is and how they maintain it, pretty nice and beautiful. And look how beautiful this trees is with bamboos. Pretty nice, right? I tell you, I never get bored of this park, and they got some decorations in the trees. So in the nighttime, if you come, it's actually beautiful. I came a while ago when they had a Latino festival. So I got to find out when they do that festival, because I know it's going to be pretty epic, you know. And then the street is beautiful and pretty organized. So you can't get enough of this park. By the way, I got the rules pulled out here just in case if I get stopped again, you know. But you know, I asked my family member that they live out here, and they say, yes, I can film out here, so I don't know what's the issue, so. But yeah, carry on, you know, just showing you how beautiful this park is before I hit the road. Here we got tons of good restaurants. Manam is one of my favorite Filipino joints, which I love it. There's another one that I ate that's right ahead of me. There was like a Thai restaurant that I ate. I forgot which one, but a lot of the restaurants here are pretty good in the coffee shops. But I think I've seen enough of the park. Now it's time to hit the street level. So now it's time to hit the regular streets out here to see what's going on. Not gonna be too much action because it's actually a Sunday, but I think it's a good way for me to explore because you have the city all to yourself and I can capture some B-rolls. But loving how the street looks like here developed. Like I said, these are my two favorite districts, Bonifacio Global City and Makati. But Makati feels more like an original, authentic city. Because, you know, it has like, I guess the layout of the streets are and the trees, it kind of gives you like that Minnesota vibe. Bonifacio Global City is amazing and walkable, but I feel like the streets can really benefit more like planting trees like this, you know. But maybe in the future, you know, the way out of developing all over Metro Manila is good. And then I think my third favorite financial district is Ortigas, in the borderline of Pasig and Mandaluyong, which I gotta go back there and make another video. But yeah, this explains to you, you know, all the districts that you can find here in Metro Manila. And then this is how the street looks like. Gotta tell you, even some of the cities in the United States, on a weekday, workday, they'll look kind of empty like this. But like I say, most of the people, I think they choose to go to the malls and the church. Even a lot of malls in the Philippines, they have a chapel or a church on the rooftop. This is pretty highly Catholic country, but it's a big Muslim community also in the Philippines, especially in the south of the Mindanao region. But you see them scattered all over through Metro Manila, especially like in Quiapo area. Reminds me, I've been to Quiapo many times, but I don't think I've explored completely the Muslim area. I discovered there's a group there that does tours in the Muslim area, so maybe I'll hit them up on Instagram and see if I could get a tour, you know, the Muslim community in Quiapo, try some of the halal cuisine, see the culture, the mosque, because I'm a fan of exploring other religions and cultures. And I want to show you guys that, you know, the Philippines offers that. It offers you different varieties of cultures and vibes out here. A lot of expats choose to live here, but I think they mostly focus on Poblacion in the other area. Well, Poblacion is mostly like for a nightlife, so I'll go there from time to time to have some of the cuisines or when they have a street party, but I'd rather live like in a much more chill, family-oriented area. But they're all scattered over here because they have like a lot of Airbnbs, a lot of condos. And I see ahead of me like a lot of developments going on. We have like 3 or 4 big malls over here. Glorieta, Greenbelt, SM, Makati. I forgot what other mall we have. Century City, but they're all scattered out. Ahead of me, I'm gonna walk towards C. Velasquez Park, which is a little local park, but every Saturday in the morning until I think noon or 2 o'clock, they do the Salcedo weekly market. I went one time, but I didn't really film it. It was just too crowded and it was hot. But maybe next week or in the future, I'll go and make a proper video for the market. It's pretty good. They have great food and cuisines, and it's vibrant. Like a lot of people, they come out there. You see how nice the street looks like. Nicely developed buildings. Oh, I got 37 seconds to cross, so I'm gonna do that. Over there, they're building a high-rise building. Then the ending, when I make a left, it should be the local park, because it's not just Ayala Triangle. They have C. Velasquez Park, they have Legazpi Park and Washington Park in the other side, like heading towards Greenbelt area, which is also like a nice area. So it proves you, you know, there's much more than just Ayala Avenue in Makati. And then some of the regular streets, they look like this, quiet, with residences and buildings. But then they walk straight, they'll take you to the area where they celebrate the market. You can see some of the nice buildings over here. They look pretty nice. Like a simple architecture like this one, seems like it's a little bit on the older side, but I like how it looks like. This building is called Uo Villa, so I guess that's like a little semi-European twist of architecture. Kind of reminds me of back home, also Puerto Rico. Like they have the same concept of architecture because we got like the same type of weather, so it kind of makes sense. Like I said, today, because it's a Sunday, you're not gonna really see much crowds over here, but on a weekday, it'll be busy. But I think it's still fun, even no matter what day of the week you walk. No matter what day of the week you walk around here. People passing by, they're friendly. You know, they wave at me and they see me talking to the camera. So I'm not trying to make a big deal, but this kind of ruined me a little bit the vibe when I was in the park and they wave me from down to say not to record. You know, I don't know. Maybe because I'm holding a little tripod, but I mean, this doesn't make any sense really. But carry on, like I say. Look at these buildings. This building is kind of reminded me when I was in Taipei, Taiwan, like the similar concept, like the same type of architecture, you know, which looks cool. Like, you know, this is another high-end upscale area in Metro Manila, besides the BGC region. But then ahead of me should be the local park. I've only been to this park like twice, I think. One thing that I'm a little bit sad, I found out that years ago, there used to be one of the few or the only authentic Puerto Rican restaurant. It was actually here in Makati, but she closed the restaurant, man, because I want to introduce my family to Puerto Rican cuisine. Maybe I should learn how to make some Puerto Rican food and bring a food truck or a restaurant over here. I don't know. Maybe that concept or idea would be actually pretty good. Let me know in the comments. What do you think? This is the area where they do the Salcedo night market. See, so it's like a little local park. Not too big, but it's surrounded by residences, tall buildings. This is called La Pita, so I guess it's like upscale restaurants. And then over here too, it's surrounded, kind of giving me a little vibe of Bryant Park in New York City. They even got a Tim Hortons over here, Canadian joints. I feel like there used to be more Tim Hortons, but it seems like they closed a couple, but I see one over here. I think there used to be one in Cubao. I think it's still there, and another one in Eastwood City, which is a Canadian joint. They got more Tim Hortons here in the Philippines than actually New York City, which is really close. I think in New York City, they only have like three Tim Hortons by Sutphin Boulevard train station at JFK, and I think one in Staten Island. I could be wrong. There used to be one in Midtown Manhattan where I would get breakfast every Friday, but they closed it for good. And look how nice this mini park is. Obviously, because it's hot, you don't see much people. They even have a dog park area over here, man. Look how nice are the buildings over here, the residences. Pretty cool. I think I can exit in the other side. So I'm gonna walk this street straight towards De La Rosa. It will pass straight by Ayala, and once it crosses Ayala on the other side, it turns into Salcedo. So just so you can see how the local areas outside of the main avenue of Ayala Avenue looks like. But so far it's looking beautiful. And look how gorgeous these buildings are. Tell you, Makati, besides BGC, is the other area that I can see myself living in Metro Manila. And the good thing about Makati, we have the MRT station. We have one Ayala, which is a mall, and underneath it has a bus terminal that will take you to many other parts. But now BGC is getting good because in a few years it's going to have 2 subway station stops, BGC and Kalayaan Avenue. So that's going to be pretty interesting, and it's going to connect Ortigas. And I think like in 30 minutes it'll take you all the way to East Valenzuela. I ain't lying. Some of these buildings are giving me vibe like if I'm in Condado in San Juan or Isla Verde Carolina, like those upscale areas down in Puerto Rico, like they have the same concept of buildings, similar type of condos, especially Ashford Avenue, which is some of the upscale areas in San Juan. So yeah, it kind of giving me that vibe, but over here it's much more chill. If you were to go to Condado, it'll be crowded with a lot of tourists because they got the beach right there. So I just passed it, but the Embassy of Malaysia was right here. I didn't want to film over that side. That's, an embassy. But yeah, it's good. It's good to see that they have the Malaysian embassy right here. I've been to that country 3 times, and I love it too. It's gorgeous over there. And another country that I recommend people to visit at least once in their lifetime. The food is great too. So here you see, streets are quiet, but they're beautiful and clean. This is Gallardo, and what else? Villas or Tordesillas. Not sure if I'm saying it correct. I know a lot of Filipinos, they make fun when I pronounce some of the Tagalog or, any other dialect from the Philippines with a Spanish accent. Well, obviously, I'm Hispanic, so probably makes sense. This is like a French restaurant. Crepes they sell there, so that's good. That's good. If you keep going straight, it's Buendia Avenue, which I made a video on Buendia by the other side, where they got the cash and carry, and I went to the local barangays, because a lot of people, they think that Makati is just modern, upscale, high-rise buildings, but they have local barangays. Even near where I live, we got Guadalupe Nuevo, Guadalupe Viejo, and that is part of Makati. And even part of South Sambo, which borders with Bonifacio Global City, part of it is in the Makati area. So there's another different side of this city over here. And then over here, we're making it towards De La Costa. Look at this building over here. So it looks like if you're somewhere like in Spain or something like that. Colonial architecture, I like it. And then we're gonna walk straight over this side. And the high-rise buildings in Ayala are straightforward. I'm telling you, it's a hot day, but what I like about Makati is the trees. So the trees are really protecting from the heat, and that's a concept that they should do in a lot of countries On a lot of neighborhoods in Metro Manila, they should literally plant a lot of trees, because that way it literally helps out with the weather, like it protect, and design the streets pedestrian friendly with bike lanes and everything, but make sure that you plant vegetation in it, because I think that literally helps out with the environment. Like I say, if you come in a weekday, you'll see a lot of traffic jam out here. Today is quiet because it's Sunday. Most of the people are probably gonna be, like I say, where I was filming, Ayala, or by the malls. On Sunday, a lot of people after church, they hit the mall, so you'll see it busy. Like this street here, the pedestrian area is made out of cobblestones, and then it does like a curve over this way. So you just never get bored of Makati. And here you see the tall, curvy modern buildings, including this ones. But we're gonna walk straight towards the other side. We're just gonna cross Ayala, but you gotta follow the signs of the streets. Oh, they got a Jollibee and a 7-Eleven right here, which is really cool. Yeah, I never walk toward this area. I always go in the other side, so that's why I'm trying to explore other local streets in Makati. And then over here, we're surrounded by more architecture too, tall buildings. Here you see all the residences over here, semi-modern. And now I'm gonna walk towards the other side, which is gonna be regular streets just like this, just to see what's going on. And then as the grand finale ending, I'm probably gonna walk Ayala Avenue all the way towards probably one Ayala maybe. So I could get some aircon and then I could just get some form of transportation back to my accommodation. Like I say, just try my best to make a lot of videos out here in the Philippines. Here you see more buildings going on. Getting a little bit hungry. That's okay, and you see how the streets are impeccable. I forgot that I'm in Ayala. In order for me to cross the street, I gotta go underground and make it towards the other side. But that's good though. That's good, because it's kind of like a safe way to cross the street. But I heard they were doing some rendering, so they're gonna develop even more Makati, like make it more pedestrian and bike friendly. I was looking at some renderings and it's looking actually pretty awesome, so we'll see in a few years how that happens. And then in this black building, they have like a mall in the first level, and then there's more buildings over here that are part of Makati. In order for me to cross over this side, I gotta take this underpassage. It looks like a subway station entrance, but it's just a underpass to cross underneath. And then you see the streets how it is, but like I say, like it's Sunday, don't expect to see crowds. Is there an escalator here? Nah, I gotta take the steps down. That's okay, exercise and workout. And this is the underpassage. Seems like they're renovating this, because usually they paint some street art over here. But this is what it looks like, and you can cross the street safely. And then once I make it up, I'm on the other side of Ayala Avenue. Here we are, exiting again to the ground level, I guess is how it's called over here. Just like that, ta-da. I'm in the street level. Oh, this is actually the mall that I was showing you guys. And then they got some huge, massive residences ahead of me. So I'll probably just show you a little bit and then merge into some of these regular streets. Oh, there's a garbage here. I need to throw something. So always respect and never litter, Keep the city, no matter where you go, the environment clean. I've been the type of guy, no matter where I go, if I can't find a garbage, I always hold it in my hands until I find, and like we call it in Puerto Rico, zafacón, basura, something like that. And this over here is the Buendia Avenue. If you take Buendia, it'll go all the way through EDSA, and it takes the ramp all the way towards Bonifacio Global City. Oh, here they wear the scarf, which is pretty nice. Just like in my previous video, I wear that same scarf but wrap around my head. Look at this here, it makes you feel like if you're back in Fifth Avenue, Manhattan, New York. But here's actually more cleaner, and you don't see homeless or anybody over here. So now I'm just gonna walk a little bit of Salcedo Street to show you what's going on. It's gonna be similar to the area where they do the Salcedo night market, like mostly residences, upscale areas, but pretty peaceful vibe. Like I say, the main action usually happens here in Ayala Avenue. And if you go towards the EDSA area, they're building pretty tall skyscrapers. Even from back here, you can literally shortcut or connect to Greenbelt Mall. But it's like a mix of a mall indoors and a mall outside. They even have a cathedral and a church. So I see the overpasses. How do I make it towards the other side? But here you see what the street looks like. And you see the buildings over there. And new developments over that way. I think where those buildings are is where they got Glorieta Mall, which is actually pretty nice. And if I was to take this over passage, it would take me straight, kind of in the borderline of Greenbelt. But I'm gonna walk over this regular street because I don't think I walk all the way towards the end. I think I got a few seconds across the street. Let me see what the locals do out here. There's also like another overpassage over this way. So I keep on discovering more and more embassies. I literally just passed the Indonesian embassy, which I've been to that country too, and it's amazing. And I want to go back because just like the Philippines, it has thousands of islands, you know, mainly an archipelago, different dialects, and it has a lot to offer, you know. So, you know, a lot of similarities, but also a lot of difference. But it's good to know they have the Malaysian embassy on the other side and then the Indonesian one right here. A 360 view of what the street looks like. So a pretty nice looking street. And you see how the street keeps going. Like I say, it literally feels like if you're somewhere else. The way, the layout of these cobblestones and the sidewalks, the trees and the buildings, how they built up. But this proves you, you know, all the diversity that you can find in Metro Manila. So I think I'm gonna do maybe 1 or 2 more blocks towards my left and then merge back to show you what the other regular street looks like, and then we walk Ayala Avenue straight till the end. I don't think I'm gonna film the malls because I already show you many malls out here, and I don't wanna be, you know, again with the guards like telling me not to record. It makes more sense in the mall. The malls are kind of like private, but in Ayala, like I'm outdoors, you know, that's when I'm kind of a little bit confused, but not gonna argue about it, so just gonna keep exploring more of Makati. Here we got more, you know, here's a regular street right here. It's looking pretty nice. It could take you forever to explore every single street in Makati. But I think I'm gonna merge into this one because I see some pretty interesting buildings. Now this regular street, I've never walked it, but so far it's looking pretty nice. You know, and I feel like I said, the trees literally protects me, but let me show you the views that are right in front of me. This is what you get, you know, a lot of people, they don't really venture into these regular streets, but you see the varieties of architecture and the ways how the sidewalks are laid out, and then the skyscrapers from Ayala, you can see it from a distance at the end. Then they got BDO Bank, which is one of the main financial banks in the Philippines. BDO, BPI, you know, they got a couple of great banks out here. So this particular street is called Legazpi Street, which will take you all the way on the other side towards Legazpi Park. And it's like 2 parks in one. One side is Legazpi Park, then the other side is Washington Park, which is funny because in New York we got a park called Washington Square Park. So little similar names, but this park is beautiful, it even has a lake. So I've filmed it before if you want to check out some of my previous videos in Makati. They got like street food or like food carts, but they're closed like on this Sunday, but they usually serve, you know, the workers around this area. I've seen a couple of videos around and I saw like 2 in Legazpi Street. But yeah, I guess in the weekday, you know, it's a good way. Over here you can see some of them, they're empty, but I'm gonna show you. Right here you see it's just 2 of them food stalls, and I guess they sell Filipino cuisine. It's another one over here. So when, you know, when it's work day, people can just come, get out for the work and grab a bite for an affordable price. Just look at the street. Empty but very clean. Like I say, if you want to see action, come on a weekday. I film here multiple times in a weekday, but I love coming on a Sunday because I feel like it's more chill and I can get all the footage that I want. So got it right here. This is Ayala Avenue, one of the wealthiest avenues in Manila and the Philippines, I believe. Now I'm just gonna walk straight towards Party 1 Ayala and call it a day for today. And then here you see Ayala Avenue. Over here in Ayala Avenue, you know, it's not allowed to bring tricycles. I think they can use jeepneys. Probably some of these are like jeepney stops, but tricycles are not allowed. So they maintain the environment nice and organized and safe. So yeah, you see we're surrounded literally by skyscrapers. There goes a bus. There's like many forms of transportation because this is like the heart of the National Capital Region. You know, a lot of the finance, main headquarters, they're based out here in this area. So that's why this is a very, very key, important district for the entire Philippines. It's like literally the heart of it. And look at this underpassage, wow. Pretty nice and modern. So this one's developed to have like a beautiful street art and painting, comparing to the first underpassage I'll show you guys. But it's so cool, like I'm really obsessed with these underpassages and the way how they beautify the area to maintain it pretty nice and presentable. So as many of you guys know, I live in BGC and I love it out here, But I'm also kind of comparing, you know, what it's like walking between BGC and here. BGC, there's more action. There's a lot of stores, there's restaurants, a mixture. You know, everything is right there. Here, it's bigger and some of the restaurants are scattered. But over here, it feels a little bit more pleasant. And why do I say that? It's because there's literally trees all over. In BGC, some areas have trees. But like I say, it's a new city. BGC has been developed like in 20 years. So maybe those trees are gonna grow more. But here, like you can see behind me, I got all these trees. It's like 106 degrees outside, which is roughly like 41, 42 Celsius. But I don't feel really brutally hot, you know, because I feel like these trees are really helping. Which is something that I think it lacks in Bonifacio Global City District. If you go like to the uptown area over there, there's always a breeze. I don't know why, maybe because the buildings are taller there. But when you hit High Street, the heat really can sneak on you and kick you in pretty hard. But here it feels pleasant no matter what. See, I got this, that's Ayala Triangle, and the skyscrapers right there on the other side. So they really did like a good job to mix the urban architecture with trees and greeneries out here. So I feel like it makes it actually really pleasant. And I got another overpass, and over here we got Peninsula Hotel. I'm surprised that the fountain is not on today. Maybe they're doing some maintenance. And then here you see all the buildings. Everything that Makati has to offer. This is what I'm talking about. See how the trees keep going? But obviously they got the Shangri-La over here, and they got Peninsula, which is all like some pretty high-end hotels. So of course they're gonna keep the area nice and impeccable. But like I said, it's pretty pleasant to walk because it's not brutally hot. So you can literally just shelter up with these trees, which is something that I think Bonifacio Global City lacks for now. But maybe in the future they'll implement more vegetation, and that way the neighborhood is even nicer. You know, here we are passing the other side. Over here would take me straight to Edson. They're developing some new high-rise buildings, and then if you take the highway straight, that's like a pretty private upscale area. That's mostly McKinley Parkway, and it would take you right into Bonifacio Global City, but very high-end, because a lot of mansions over there and a lot of wealthy people, famous people, politicians live there. So, but just giving you an idea of what it looks like over here. As you can see, this is a new building that's being developed, thin but tall, and then all the condos over here. But I think I've seen enough for today. So gonna wrap up my video over here exploring beautiful Makati and head home. But I got plenty of other videos I'm gonna record. So that was the end of my video. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for more. Be safe out there, everybody. God bless y'all and peace.